Everybody say, yeah. Give them some more love and appreciation on this day when so many people need so much upliftment. Look around the room and see the beauty and the love and the sacredness of all of the beings here in the room that are showing up on the Wednesday night service. And look at the beauty of all of the splendor of all the different kinds of folks in the room. Each luminous, numinous, individualized expression of the infinite mind of God. It never repeats itself. It never does a do-over, and is not a throwback in the bunch. Everyone here is a being of worth and value. Look at one of the beings. Before you do that, just cast a silent prayer for all of the beings here in the room. And have as an inward desire of your heart that all of these beings prosper. That they move to a dynamic vibration of love and peace and joy and harmony. And that their life is absolutely vibrating with the feeling tone of all needs met. Desire that for everyone in this room. And then desire it for the person sitting right next to you. Look at one of those beings sitting right next to you. They are representing and standing in proxy for all of the beings in this sanctuary and all of the beings that are streaming in from around the globe. Look at that being and just simply say, oh my God. Oh my God. I get to sit next to you. I bow to your brilliance. I bow to your luminosity. I bow to the intelligence flowing through you. The beauty flowing through you. The sacred power flowing through you. The infinite potential flowing through you. Let's activate our potential and come into bliss and change the world for the better. Let's do this together in the here and now. Together in the here and now. Together in the here and now. Let's be this. Let's do this. And so it is. Give up the love. Touch and agree about the great power and presence and love that is everywhere, that has not been changed, touched, or tarnished, regardless of an election or a selection. And constantly be aware, which is why you arrived here this evening on the shores of Agape, to be reminded that the Spirit of the living God is not mocked, to be reminded that this presence is never an absence, to be reminded, as Dr. Holmes states on page 33 of his textbook, that never is there a cosmic famine, and that God is always God, and that we may stumble, but always there is that eternal voice forever whispering within our ear. That thing which causes the eternal quest, that thing which forever sings and sings. You have come to be reminded of that and to go into deep practice about that for such a time as this. The theme of the evening is the three worlds revisited, life is still good. The three worlds revisited, life is still good. It is a dimension of my teaching where I teach about the three worlds that individuals inhabit. The first world is the world of appearances. This is the world that's running amok right now. It's the world that when you look out upon the world from the viewpoint of victim, when you look out at the world from the viewpoint of the mass media, which is a weapon of mass distraction, when you look, and I said this from the beginning of this particular election cycle, that I wanted to know what they were distracting us from. And so we still have to be aware of that, because most of you don't even know that 2 weeks ago our country bombed Yemen. You know, and most people don't even know that because you've been distracted by other things. But we took out their whole technology system in that particular country. And so I always ask, what are we being distracted by? And so there's a weapon of mass distraction, and we're individuals who are living in that victim state see the world of appearances and think that it is real. There's a rising up of bigotry and hate in this particular world. We just got news that some people had to keep their kids home from places in Carolina because the Ku Klux Klan are rising up again and being very bold, and they're assuming the streets and making a mighty noise based on the individuals they think they put into office. And so in this world of appearances, that many people live in. The fear, the doubt, the worry, the lack, the limitation, the scarcity. All of that is the appearance world. It's nothing changed when an individual was selected as president. It's just that it's now being unhidden, you see. The United States hasn't changed. It's just that things that have been hidden and brushed under and not being polite. It wasn't a polite thing to allow your racism to show. It wasn't a polite thing to allow your homophobia to show or your bigotry to show. It's now emboldened, you see. It's coming up, which is a beautiful thing as an evolutionary trigger, because as any therapist knows that things that have been hidden in the psyche, when they come into the surface to be seen, they can be dealt with. They can be embraced and transmuted. You can't deal with it when it is hidden. And so a lot of it surfaced, of course, with the 8 years of Barack Obama, and then now it's emboldened to really come forward, you see? And so that's the world of appearances, and that's where most people live. And they have a tendency to be in fear and doubt and worry, and they have a tendency to live by fight or flight consciousness, and they have a tendency to live primarily with the defense mechanisms and coping mechanisms, and that's the world of appearances. And we are aware of that world. We're not blind to that particular world. But when we begin to practice these spiritual teachings that have come through the ages, through the great avatars on the planet who have embodied a greater awareness of our oneness with God Almighty, all beauty and all joy, we begin to see a different world with spiritual practice and meditation and life visioning and sacred service, not attached to ego recognition, generosity flowing, not attached to ego recognition. There's another world that opens up. And we begin, as I teach, to see the same world differently. And that is that same world that is replete with fear, doubt, worry, lack, limitation, homophobia, bigotry, hate, separation, emanating from an immature state of awareness, emanating from a myopic point of view, emanating from the reptilian brain operating in an individual's mind where the frontal cortex is not widely open yet. And so people live in a life of separation. We begin to see that world differently. And we begin to see possibility and potential and opportunity. And so in this particular world, based on everything that has occurred, the sense of complacency goes right out of the window. The sense of sitting back and seeing what's going to happen goes right out of the window, you see. People are in the streets protesting on one level, and other people on the streets are celebrating. The nation is divided, but we see a world of potential, possibility, and opportunity rather than the world collapsing and, oh my God, things have just gotten so terrible. Nothing has changed because somebody got elected president. Really. Only thing is that something that was hidden is now being seen. And so you have to say to yourself, if you don't want to live in a world in which there is going to be stop and search in the black community, if you don't want to live in a world in which Mexicans are going to be, this is never going to happen, in terms of a wall being built to keep Mexicans out. If you don't want to live in a world in which Muslims have to carry cards in order to move through the country, if you don't want to live in a world in which mass incarceration increases, thus imprisoning great potential of individuals that have done nonviolent crimes, then you have to ask yourself, what are the possibilities, the opportunities, what are the openings that you must do in order to make a mighty difference on the planet? That's the world. You begin to see possibility, potential, and opportunities so that you're not caught up in the whirlwind of appearances. You're caught up in what is my assignment. That's the world that we see when we see the world differently. What is my assignment? And so we always invite individuals who move to the vibration of protesting things to make sure that what's incorporated in that protest is a vision and an articulation of a vision of the kind of world you want to live in. Not just the kind of world you don't want to live in, but the kind of world you do want to live in, because the energy flows where your conversation goes. The energy flows where the energy flows where you're focusing. And so in that second world, you have to say to yourselves, we have to say to ourselves, in substance, what is my assignment now? Perhaps we've been lazy. Perhaps we've been complacent. Perhaps we sat around and said, you know, life is good on the surface aspect of life, but now we begin to see there's all manner of people that live in this country, and some don't like the fact that you all are gathering together in this dream of kings, so to speak. And then something else begins to happen. And I must say at this time, you know, our community exists for such a time as this. You know, look around the room and see who's with you. See the multiple colors of people here. See, it's not just diverse, it's inclusive all across the board. We are existing for such a time as this to be a vibrational representation of the possibility of a world that works for the highest and best of everyone on the planet. That's our vibration. You see, that's our vibration. And so there were certain rallies in which individuals came together and celebrating the selection of the president, and they were saying things like, we hate the Mexicans, we hate blacks, we're taking our country back. That's in the field there, and you're here as an antidote to that immature nonsense, to that fear and that worry. You are here for that kind of vibration. And so those, and I have friends, I'm talking about real good friends, that love the outcome of the election. And so I said to them in substance, I said within, you know, when he was speaking about all the billions of dollars that are going outside of the country to fix other countries' infrastructure, and he wants to bring it back to America to fix our infrastructure, to build up our inner cities, to build up our schools, you have to work to make sure he does that. Because if he's come to shake up Washington, that's not going to pass either, you see, because too many people are into graft and payoffs for all that money that's drained out of our country into these other countries. If he's going to do that, he's going to have some problems, you see. And so though he's been the lightning rod of racism and bigotry and the assault of women, he's supposedly coming to shake things up. So I said, you better get behind him and make sure he does that. So I said, you have to find your assignment in that. And then there's another world. And this is the most important world. We have the world of appearances. We have the world in which you get to see possibilities and opportunities based on what's going on, what the climate is, what's my assignment, what's my assignment, what's my assignment, how can I serve, how can I serve, how can I share my gift, what am I supposed to share today? I can't just pull my head under the cover and say, woe is me. All that is happening is a revelation of what's been hidden and swept under the rug for many years, now coming to be healed. When you begin to really do your inner work, you begin to see a different world whatsoever. Not just the world of appearances, not just the world of opportunity and possibility and potential. You begin to see the world that God sees. You begin to see from the mystical eye a world that does work for everyone. You begin to see it as it really, really is. I never forget the moments in which I was ushered into this world and could see the love and the beauty and the harmony and the wholeness that is in everyone, whether they're awake or whether they're sleepwalking, whether they're locked up in jail, whether they're a criminal, or whether they are of high esteem in the planet. You begin to see what God sees. It sneaks up on you as an insight and as a revelation. It opens you up. Your inner work is to provide the context for you to have that kind of revelation. So then as you see it, and as you begin to vibrate with it, you will ask yourself, in substance, the thought I am thinking and the word that I am releasing and the action that I'm about to take, is it of this dynamic world that God sees? And you begin to check yourself on a regular basis so that you're not adding to the pollution in the appearance world. You're not adding to the hate. You're not adding to the fear and the doubt and the worry. No, you become a conscious clearinghouse. That when you show up, you're not blind to the appearances. No, 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 no. You're not blind to opportunity. No, 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 no. But you're also not blind to the realm of ever-expanding good that is everywhere, untouched, untarnished by man, untouched, untarnished by time and experience, untouched and untarnished by our perception of that experience. Oh my God, we're living in such a wonderful time in which we have an evolutionary trigger that's bringing everything to the surface so that we can find what we're called to do to make a difference and not be complacent at all. He has an agenda. And he has force, and he's going to bring some stuff up, and thank God for that. Thank God for that. You look back at your life, and you look back at what you might think are the most negative things that have ever happened in your life, and you continue to grow, develop, and unfold. Those things shift to lessons. And then ultimately they shift to being a gift. And you say to yourself, if that thing hadn't happened, I wouldn't be who I am today. And so nationally, when we look at the Ku Klux Klan raising their ignorant head, when we look at all the things that are going on and it looks so vile and people are like so naive, like I didn't know this was going on in America. Well, I tell you, we know, I know. I was cussed out today on the way to the gym by some guy, calling me all kinds of names and things. I said, what the? We know nothing has shifted because Barack Obama was in office at that level. And so if you want to let go of any naivete, that kind of stuff doesn't go on and is not in the hearts and minds of men and women who haven't awakened yet. So we stand up. We begin to do our inner work and see and articulate where we're going, and then we use what's being uncovered as a motivation to do what we're called to do. And everyone is not to do the same thing. We're to find what you're to do and to do it. But don't be naive that suddenly America changed. This stuff has been going on for years. Ask any Mexican in the room, ask any black person in the room, ask any gay person in the room. That stuff's been going on for years. So now it's out in the open. Isn't that a great thing? It's out in the open. It's out in the open. And so you don't know what's going to happen. I was nervous about this only because a few months ago I had a prophetic dream that he became president. And I kept denying it to myself. I wanted to say that was just a dream, But somebody had asked me, somebody very close to him had asked me, would I fly back there and work with him? And I said, are you serious? The man who wants to build a wall against Mexicans and card Muslims and all of this? Really? And this individual said, he's just a big boy saying anything. And she went on to talk this and that. And I said, first of all, you're asking me. He's not asking me. No, I don't think that's my assignment. So that night I had a dream. And in the dream, I'm speaking to him. And I said, Mr. President. And he says, I want you to work with me. I said, I can't work with you. You're trying to build walls and you fomented racism again and made it popular. And he said, no, I'm not doing that. I just said stuff just to get elected. And then I woke up sweating. And I said, God, I will go anywhere you send me, but don't send me there. Please. And so all this time I've been saying, I hope that wasn't a prophetic dream. But it was. But the thing about it is, if it had gone the other way, you guys would have you kept sleeping. You would have been celebrating. We got a woman president. Nothing would have changed. Nothing would have changed. Nothing. business as usual. Drones killing people, collateral damage. Same thing, same thing, same thing. Now it's out in the open. Change agent. Let's embrace the change agent. Let's ask, what's our assignment? What can we do to make the world a better place? How can we serve? And one day, I'm telling you, I know this for sure, you'll look at an individual that you don't like, and you'll see God there. You'll look at someone in deep ignorance, and you'll see the presence of God. You look at what you might think is the most vile human being, and you'll see God. And you're seeing it. We'll call it forth. Dr. Thurman used to describe this as love when he would say that love is meeting a person where they are, but treating them as though they were where they should be. It's a dynamic where you can meet a person where they are, yes, wherever it is. But vibrationally, you're seeing the possibility and the potential. We don't want to be the reactionaries. No, we want to be those that rise high and hold the space when everybody's going crazy, when everybody's going nuts. We want to be the ones that are articulating a dynamic vision of not only for our particular country, but for the world. We're global citizens. We want to articulate what that looks like. And we want to ask, what are we being distracted from right now? What's going on? What's going on that we can't see right now? That's brewing in the background while we're focused on a powerless office where systemic change cannot really happen. What's really going on? And if we ask, you may have some dreams, prophecies. You may begin to see some things. You may begin to be guided and directed. So that you're anchoring the realm of ever-expanding good on earth. So hear this in a slowed down fashion. 3 worlds. There's the appearance world. Most people live there if they're in victim consciousness. They live in reaction to what's going on. Everything that shows up in the appearance world is called the past. It was once somebody's thought, now it's visible and you can see it. It's the past. Individuals are walking through an artifact of their ego in the past and are reacting to it. That's not your lot. You see that same world differently, and you begin to navigate and see possibilities, potentials, opportunities, and ultimately you see your assignment. What's my assignment in this world of the artifact of my ego? What's my assignment here? You keep doing the work. I'm talking about real work. I'm talking about sacred service. I'm talking about deep love in your heart. I'm talking about your affirmative prayer. I'm talking about your meditation. You keep doing the work, and you'll be given a vision. Oh, my God. It's here. It seems to be covered up by time and covered up by opinion and covered up by perception, but that world is right here. You're in that world. You're living, moving, and having your beingness in the world. This is not fantasy. It's not happy talk. I'm telling you what I know and what I've had direct encounter with. See, it's a real world. You will walk in that world, and then you'll be untouched. 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 You know, people had great expectations, and their expectations were dashed. You see, now it's time to roll up the sleeves because we might have been given a blessing dressed in work clothes. You know, it's like, we got to get to work. We got to get to work. Are you ready to work? Yes. I mean, are you ready to get down? Yes. Are you ready to not be complacent? Yes. Are you ready to find what yours is to do? Yes. And then you begin to look at every individual that you come in contact with. If they're pushing your button, then you eliminate that button through prayer so that you're not adding to the pollution of the world of hate and indifference and negativity. We together clean up our own stuff so that we can walk as shiny examples of the answer. When you look around this room, this is some people's nightmare. you know. It is. I can remember when a number of years ago when me and Lorraine Bodegians, who used to be the director of the prayer ministry, were having death threats by this gentleman that was calling all the time. And we took it somewhat seriously. And finally someone on the phone said, why do you want to kill Reverend Michael? Why do you want to kill Lorraine? He says, well, they're bringing all the races together and we have to stop that. You know, and that was years ago. But that was hidden. They were hidden behind phone calls. Now they're just walking down the street with crosses again, you know? It's out in the open. Take a breath right here. Release. Parents' world, world of opportunity and assignment, real world of God, not fantasy. Quantum reality, realm of ever-expanding good. We work to the best of our ability from that world with our assignment. And so we're just getting started. You know, we built a platform for 30 years, and now we get to use it. It's just getting started. We're just getting started. I know I'm just getting started. I'm in the middle of a whole new rebirth in terms and the symbolic of the cutting off of the hair. But it's just we're just getting started up in here. And now we see why. You see, can you embrace your enemies? Do you know how to do that? I mean, really? Like Dr. King did, like Mohandas K. Gandhi did, like you know, Dalai Lama. Can you really do that? That's some tough work. That's tough work. To embrace people you don't like or they don't think the way you do. It's tough work. It's not one and done. It's every day. Can you embrace the people that don't like you? That talk about you, call you bad names, now in front of your face. Can you? If you can, then you're the strongest people on the planet. For those that can love and those that can forgive, they are the strongest people on the planet. You see, we want to have that kind of strength. Thus, we took on the challenge of being called Agape. Unconditional love, all conditional love, love without agenda. That is tough. It's tough. It's tough. I see it every day. People can't do it. And they give themselves excuses. We do. We give ourselves excuses. We can't do it. But we're called to get back up and do it. Pray. Use me. Pray. Let me be your instrument. Pray. I'm available. Pray. I yield. Pray. If God, I can't love him right now. Love him through me. Sometimes you just got to go there. I can't do it. You're going to have to come through me to do this. Come on. But however you get there, you've got to get there, or the kind and just global society will not manifest. There is no God that's going to come down and solve anything. God sent you. The universe sent you. You incarnated at this time in human history to reveal the face of God. So don't blame God for anything. God wants to know itself as your life. Can you do the tough work? Can we do it? Individually, as collectively, as a community, can we do it? Can we embrace and keep rising and keep rising and keep rising? You might even look back a few years ago and say, this is the best thing that ever happened. You said, let that be a possibility. Let it be a possibility. It's the best thing. It's just an election. Nothing's changed. And then, like Buckminster Fuller reminds us, begin to build structures outside of the government, outside of the political system. Build your structure so strong in love and in integrity that everyone follows you. You know, the political system ain't the only system in town. You're called to build your own stuff, to have your own evolution of revolution. And build it so well, outside the structure of that which, the system that's falling down and incarcerating people and all manner of things, so that you're building the new from the new world in the midst of the decay of that which no longer works. So we're rising up as another paradigm is dissolving. New paradigm emerging, old paradigm dissolving. Do not wail at the old paradigm. Give it a great, magnificent funeral and celebrate what you're birthing. This is an incubator for great ideas. Have you had one lately? If it's a part of the new paradigm, let it be born through you. Take a breath. Release. Feel into this. This message will repeat in many, many ways. So glad to see so many of you here today. Some of you being complacent and not coming, but an election made you come out. Thank God. Keep on coming. Dig in. Do the work. Take the class. Find your assignment. Let us be lifted together. Let us be lifted together. Let us be lifted together. Come with me. Come with me for a moment. I want you to come with me. I want you to be very silent for a moment and very still. I want you to take everything out of your hands and let your feet be placed on the ground, not legs crossed, don't block the energy, not arms crossed, don't block the energy, but hands on your lap, facing up as a sign of receptivity to the Holy Most. The Holy Most. The presence. And once you begin to feel that you're at the very center of the universe, as we were feeling our way into this last night at the foundation class meeting, I want you to feel into the awareness that you're at the very center of the universe. It's Thomas Troward that said that in order to comprehend the wonders of the limitless universe, you must do two things. You must first realize you're at the center of it. And secondly, you must realize you can do nothing to improve its efficiency. God is always God. You can't improve upon the elegance and the order and the harmony that is everywhere, but you can participate in it and let it flow through you. So you're sitting here in the center of the universe, feeling the presence of love all around you. You've been bathed by the sacred sound of Agape. You've been bathed by the silence of the practitioners. You've been bathed by the meditation. You've been bathed by the smiles and the hugs. I want you to see yourself just a little bit above yourself. I want you to come giving yourself permission, and you can be there. Just rise above and look down at yourself for a moment and see yourself sitting in that chair. Come a little higher and go through the roof of the ceiling and look down at this wonderful center known as Agape. Go a little higher and just look down upon the neighborhood. You can do this. You have a body, but you're not your body. You are expanded consciousness, not limited to the body. The body is in your field of awareness, so come a little higher. Come with me. I'm bringing you with me right now. Look down and see the city, the lights. Come a little higher and begin to see all of California. Come up a little higher. See the nation. Look and see. Come with me. Come a little higher. See Earth. See planet Earth. Notice you're above it all. All of that is in you. You're not in it. It's in you. A little bit higher. Notice the moon. Notice it's shining because there's a sun. And notice the sun. Notice the planets. Notice the star systems. And notice from this place, all of this is in your field of awareness. And time does not exist. Time exists in the land of experience, but it's not existing here. All those planets that are in your field of awareness are suspended in eternity, spinning in their own orbit, and they're in you. Feel into this timeless, dimensionless space. This is real. You're not in the world of appearance right now or the world of experience. Now, this presence that's never an absence, it's all around you. It's shining in the darkness. Its luminous darkness represents infinite potential, that dark matter, an infinite void of a cacophony of divine ideas waiting to express themselves. And the manifestation of the light and the luminosity and the planets and the solar systems and the galaxies all buzzing around us. Feel it. Be with this for just a second. We're coming out of the orbit of human consciousness for a moment, and we're getting to feel a different world. It is from this awareness that we have such gratitude and gladitude, a high, powerful attitude of oneness with the presence of life. We're not stuck in the muck right now. We are expanded in our awareness. And from this dynamic field of gratitude and thanksgiving, you're still hovering above the world. The world is in you. From this dynamic field of gratitude and thanksgiving and pure appreciation for life, our life that's untouched and untarnished by time right now. Nothing's changed in the mind of God. The word is spoken from this place that we may be free from mental debris. We may be free from pollution and be embraced by divine solution. Divine ideas. The word is spoken for each of us that represents the one of us tonight. That from this moment on, every single thing is working together for our individual and for our collective good. The word is spoken. It's a vibration that's being emitted. We're not lost in time and space now. We're free right now. So this word that is moving through us in this instant, it is a word of dynamic conviction emanating from a faith that's untouched by time. That a dynamic peace will not just magically appear, but it emerges from us. A love that emerges from us. A caring that emerges from us. A greatness that emerges from us. Oh, come with me now. The word is spoken that we're able to see a world that works for everyone. No one left out. And we see the other world differently now. And perhaps what's emerging is an opportunity. A possibility, an activation of a potential, a recognition of an assignment for us. That we're not victimized by time, we're motivated and then ultimately inspired. Sometimes you got to be motivated by the externals to then be inspired by a divine idea. The word is spoken. The word is spoken, the word is spoken, the word is being spoken that we may be free today. So we embrace, we look down upon the earth and we embrace all the beings. We're out of time now so that we see though there are time zones on the planet, we're not in that time zone. We're in eternity, blessing the planet, blessing the United States, blessing Yemen, blessing all the countries as they are temporarily mourning or celebrating a shift in politics. We're blessing everyone. Everyone. We're blessing everyone. And calling us all to spiritual task that we may be able to see the great power, the great presence, and the great love, not as imagination or a happy talk, but as an activation of our consciousness. Come with me. What's your assignment? What's your prayer? What's the opportunity in front of you? What's the potential? What's the possibility? Can we rise? Can we rise? Can we rise? Shall we rise? Will we keep rising? Oh, feel it in your bones. Feel it in your bones right now. I want you to listen. I want you to listen to a little bit of this song right now, and then we're gonna bring eternity into time. We can maybe give him a little taste. Just see the earth. Look down upon it.
Of the universe, how great you are. Oh, guide me and inspire me to be wonderful. Creator, deep inside us all, you lift me up every time I fall. Oh, guide me and inspire me to be wonderful. Creator of the universe, how great you are. Oh, guide me and inspire me to be wonderful. Creator, deep inside us all, you lift me up every time I fall. Oh, God, and inspire me to be wonderful.
Yes.
Creator.
How great thou art. Yes. Feel the greatness of the presence of God in the hands that you're holding. Hold the hands next to you. Feel the power of sacred community. Sacred community. Hold the field together. Let it be amplified. Even though you're holding that hand, you're way above the fray right now. You're looking down on the earth and seeing the beauty, the order, the harmony, the elegance of the magnificent universe. And we're praying for Peggy Zimmerman. And we're praying for Alicia Eckhart, for her father Martin. And we're praying for Cowrie, whose father made the transition. And Ryan Sterling Nicole. For Awizo Odara. We're praying for Richard Cornfield, for Max. And Denali, his dogs. And we're praying for our practitioners, Lindo Campbell and Wendy Taylor, who made their transitions. The joint celebration of life service at this Saturday at our practitioners meeting, 10 o'clock a.m. Now, as you're seeing, you're beginning to see from this high space. Allow yourself to come on down to earth now. Just come on down out of space and see the ceiling, see the top of the building where Agape is worshiping, and come on down and see your body sitting in that chair, and come on down and be body conscious again. You begin to notice that the body is in your field of awareness. You're not in your body, the body is in you. But you're coming down into the body with an awareness of your expanded consciousness. You are not relegated to facts. You are relegated to the truth. Don't be confused by the facts. Be freed up by the truth of your being and make a difference on this planet. Oh, feel it now. You have your body now. You have your body. It's an instrument for the divine you. It's an instrument for the real you, an instrument for the real you, an instrument for the authentic you, an instrument for the beloved you, an instrument for the you that is in integrity with your soul. As we're sitting here now, we feel those hands. Bless each other in this sanctuary. We bless the vibration of all the years that we've been praying and meditating and doing sacred service. Bless our new beginnings. We bless each other. We bless our friends, family, and associates. We bless everyone that's trying to find some way of being on this planet. Some are gloating, some are sad. We are the clearinghouse that brings it all together for such a time as this, in which this mighty blessing, as we expand our awareness, in which this mighty blessing has occurred. And for this we do give thanks. We do give thanks. And we let it be now and forever. And so it is. Amen. Bring your hands together in a powerful, prayerful mudra. Somebody just scream for a moment. Just. You know you want to. Just release. Just release. God is still God. God is still God. And so we release.